What it do, y'all, and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I'm so excited to bring you guys a palette bingo, and I don't think I've ever really done this on my channel. I'm sure I've done something that's very similar. I've done a lot of like my perfect palettes, stuff like that, but this is just another kind of concept or type of video in which I'm using products that I already had. These are all of my Huda Beauty eyeshadows, and I just want to play around. So what I did is I just got a random number generator to tell me which number I had to pull from the various palettes, and I created this look. And although you can't see it because I should have me in black and white right now, in case you want to see how I created this look and everything like that, let's just go ahead and jump into the video. Hey guys, so like I said in the intro, I pulled all of my Huda Beauty eyeshadow palettes. I have 3 of the bigger ones and 1 smaller pan palette, and I'm just gonna have fun literally doing a palette bingo. I don't even know if I've ever done one officially on my channel, but I was just in the mood to play with what I already have instead of getting more new. So let's get into it. I'm just gonna Google really quickly a random number generator. Okay, and for the first palette, we're gonna say 1 through 9 because there are 9 shades total. And I don't know if my camera is going to focus on my screen, so let me just say generate. Okay, and so it generated 4. So for this one, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's that interesting kind of mid-tone orange. It's a little rustic, which I'm definitely here for. So that's the shade for that palette. Then for the bigger palettes, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 times 3 is 18. So we're gonna say 1 through 18. So 1 through 18 for the first one. And that looks like it says 5. So that's number 5. And I'm just gonna pull in the order that I have them stacked. So 3, 4, 5. So that's this shade. Okay. So that's already very interesting because those are night and day on the color wheel, which I've never been a huge advocate to paying attention and memorizing that. Anyways, next color is 3. And next we have my Naughty palette, which this is the first time I'm using this palette, which is another reason why I wanted to do this palette bingo. And it's this beautiful kind of burgundy-ish shimmer. Okay, that'll work with that that warm orange. That will work really nicely. Let me take off my watch. I don't know why I always do that. Always forget to take off my watch. Okay, so that's really pretty. And then last, for the new nude palette, hopefully I actually get a nice matte. I just want one more matte. You guys know your girl likes a good matte. All right, and one more color. And that says 6. So, and this one, yep, it's another matte, and it's this burgundy one, which I can actually work with that, I think. So these are the 4 colors. I got a burgundy and an orange matte, and then I got a more burgundy kind of duochrome shimmer, and then this blue shimmer. So I need to clean off my hands, I need to prime my eyes, and then I need to figure out kind of how I'm gonna make this work. For today, priming wise, I'm gonna use my Laura Mercier caviar stick in the shade Al Natural. If you didn't know, this is currently in my project pan. So there's that. But I also have never used this primer, and specifically with this formula. So I was just honestly interested in seeing how it would work with that formula. So what I'm thinking about doing is actually a two-toned crease with the orange and the burgundy, kind of both in the crease, and then just playing with those shimmers all on the lid. So first things first, huge fluffy brush, and I think I'm gonna use the orange first in that inner corner, because it at least appeared in swatches that it was lighter than the purple. And I'm just going to target and concentrate this in this inner half of my lid or crease. I'm not going to really worry about it going too high because I genuinely just personally don't care. But I also kind of like the vibes of how pigmented and how large and in charge you guys can really see that color. Okay, so I'm liking where it's at right now. Like I said, very, very bold in that inner half of my crease area. Then for the new nude palette, I'm gonna take my other matte that I got, which is this purple. And this is going to be blown out on the outer portion of my crease. And I'm also going to, of course, blend this with that previous shade, but I'm also going to go ahead and bring this down to my lower lash line. Okay, sorry, I ran out of memory on my chip, so I had to kind of delete some things, but I don't think I've done anything that I didn't talk about. I'm just bringing that purple to the lower lash line, as well as blending it out on that outer V and kind of winging it out as well. I really like that kind of winged out aesthetic, and I like the kind of vibes of this look so far. I really am. I'm just gonna go back with a little bit more of that first shade, which is the orange, just to blend these together a little bit more. I felt like the purple was overtaking it just a little bit, which I wouldn't be mad about, but I just want a nice blend there. Okay, I think we're doing pretty good so far. 2 shades and 2 palettes down. Now I only have 2 shimmer shades, which is going to be very interesting for me. I have this blue tone shade, which is very much a blue, and then in this one I have this kind of orangey purpley shade that I think will look really, really pretty. So I think what I'm gonna do is kind of turn into an old school beauty YouTuber. I'm gonna take a flat brush and I am gonna apply this shade all over my lid. This is the shade Shameless, like I said, from the Naughty palette, and I'm pretty sure I said earlier this is actually the first time I've used this palette, so I have no context for how these shades work, and I'm going to spray my brush. I'm just not picking up the amount of product that I want, and because I have nails right now, I'm just not going to even bother to dig my nail into the pan or even apply. Okay, I'm impatient, as I've said time and time again, and I think this is more of a cream shade, so it's just not picking up the way I like on the brush. So I'm just going to use my finger and just try to be as careful that it doesn't go where I don't want it to. This is looking really, really pretty. And I will say personally for me, I would definitely recommend using your finger. The brush application was just not, like the actual brush wasn't picking up the product well. And this is one of my favorite brushes to pick up shimmer shades. So I shouldn't have had any issues in that regard, but clearly I did. I'm just gonna go back with the fluffy brush and I'm gonna pull my purple shade. I just want to smooth that outer edge just to make it look nice and blended. It's not looking half bad. And then what I'm gonna do is go into the retrograde palette and I'm gonna pull that blue. The blue is gonna go on my lower lash line. I'm just pulled a clean flat brush and this one happens to be from Rephr. What I am gonna do is still try to pick up that lid brush because I don't have anything in my inner corner. And I'm trying not to cheat even though I want to just pull my highlighter. So I'm going to just try to get that in my inner corner, and it worked a lot easier that way. So I think it was just the fact that I was going on a bigger surface, or even the fact that I hadn't broken through the seal of the color, which is why I would not pick up. But yeah, so I feel like I look like a classic eye tutorial that a beauty YouTuber from like 2015, not 2015, that's a little late, like 2017, 2018 would have done. Granted, if I could, I would have also thrown like a darker brown in that outer V just to deepen up this whole look, and I think it would have looked beautiful. But as it is, I think it looks cute. So give me 1 second. I'm just going to top off my eyes with my eyeliner, my mascara. I might throw some lashes on too, and then I'll come back so you guys can see the finished look. Alrighty guys, so this is the finished look. And like I said, this is the finished look with me using all of my Huda Beauty eyeshadow palettes. And what I will say is that for me, I think that I've chose really beautiful color schemes, but all of these have the good Huda Beauty quality. I feel like there was a point where the 9 pans were a little iffy and the bigger pans were a lot better, or even some of the kind of bigger palettes were a little iffy, but I feel as though my small little collection is really solid, and I'm so happy with how this look came out. I definitely was not expecting to kind of create this, but I think it's cute, and I love the concept of doing these palette bingos because you're literally using things that you already have, and it's kind of forcing you to use your creativity to see how to use various different shades that you maybe naturally wouldn't have put together. And I would not have created this type of look without being forced, because you guys know I love some depth in that outer V, and I've never been the type to kind of do this like splash of blue on the lower lash line, but there's some validity in doing it, right? I still think that this look looks really cute. Overall, I'm really happy with my makeup look today. All of the items will be listed and linked down below in case you are interested. And yeah, I'll see you guys on Friday for my next video. Bye guys.